This is Triplet Talk, ladies and gentlemen.
We are back in action.
We are back. Some people thought after their babies are home, they're done.
Yep,
nope.
That's it. No more episodes.
We got this episode, and then we're probably done.
No,
Who knows? Who knows? But I am actually very excited about this episode.
Yeah.
So our other episodes were great. We were talking about the story of when you found out you were pregnant and going through the whole thing all the way up to the babies are home. But this is kind of the meat and potatoes of it all. This is we're talking about the stuff that...
The everything bagel.
The everything bagel. We're talking about the things that we needed in order to survive having triplets. Things that we probably still use today. Some maybe not so much, but things that...
Our must-haves.
The must-have items.
For triplets.
Let's go.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, listen. As a father to triplets, okay, I was not excused from anything, okay? There's some of these dads, they have the singleton. It's like, oh, you know, my wife, she breastfeeds, and I get to go to the store and get to be happy. I don't get that luxury, okay? All right? There's only one of my wife, and there's 3 of these babies. There's only 2 of us. We have some family and friends to help out, but for the most part, you know, I'm constantly working overtime here, okay? And so I can tell you guys the things that I believe we couldn't live without. We needed them. They were solid, and I recommend them to anybody who has triplets especially, but even to people who just have one baby, you know, that small minority of people. You know, majority of us have triplets. Anyways, so when I guess I'm going to start off with a typical routine that we had with the kids for about the first couple months or so. And I think that'll get a better idea of what things I recommend during that process. So right when they get up, one thing we used to do is we'd bring them downstairs. So from the nursery, we'd bring them downstairs. And we would put them in these baby bouncing seats, okay? Now, I'm going to try to provide photos in the video, but if you're just listening to the audio, that's okay too. So the baby bouncing seats were just these little seats that you put them in, and they have these little toys that kind of hang on them so the babies can kind of play with them and swing in them and stuff. They've been around forever. I was in some. My siblings were in some back in the 90s and early 2000s. So they're great. And the ones that we specifically got were ones that had a rumble function. The rumble function just seemed to kind of calm them down. And you're going to get out of this. Most of my experience of being a parent from now is just figuring out ways to calm down your kid. That's like the basis of it. You want to make sure that they're eating. You want to make sure that they're getting their diapers changed. But for the most part, you just want them to calm down. You just don't want them to be screaming and crying because you can't pick up and coddle all 3 of them at the same time. It's very difficult, and you can't just keep doing that forever. So it's just finding ways to keep them calm. So this was one thing we do. We'd bring them down in the morning, and we would, after we fed them and all that good stuff, they'd go in these little baby bouncy seats. When they were really little, they also went in these baby swings, which I believe Lauren talked about when they first came home from the previous episode. So if you didn't hear that, listen to that. And same thing, had a rumble function on there, just a nice massage, like a nice good old massage chair for our kids. Only thing the best. So we absolutely love those. I loved them. I put them in there. They got excited. When they were real little, we didn't have the toy part because you can take it off. When they got a little older, we put the toys on it, and it just kept them busy. It was just a great way to keep them calm and stuff without having to always keep them in a bassinet or a crib. The other thing we also did was we also put them in boppy pillows. Now, with the boppy pillows, they would kind of sit in there and sleep. As you saw kind of photos in the previous episode, holler back to that one. We just love those because unlike our bassinets, even though our bassinets were considered portable, these were obviously a lot more portable. You can kind of put them anywhere. And we were always keeping an eye on them, always making sure that they were safe. But at the same time, it was great because you could kind of watch all of them without having to carry around these giant bassinets and such. And it just kept them calm. I think this is a big stressor. Noise machines. Noise machines, noise machines, noise machines. Now, some of you are thinking, I'm talking about the noise machine product. You plug it in, you turn it on, it makes noise machine. Those are fantastic. We still use those to this day. Those are kind of pricey though. And one thing that we used to do, and we still even kind of do to this day to kind of help them go to sleep, is we go to a bathroom that doesn't have a window but has a fan. You turn on the fan, calms them down. Yeah. You go to your kitchen. If you have a microwave that has a fan option, you turn on that fan. We were basically just living in a giant noise machine, like the noise machines of fans and the bathroom fans, the kitchen fans, the noise machine. They were just always going on because, especially for Sophia, who was very, very fussy at the time, still kind of is. I still think she had colic or something. I don't know. Because she was just, like, Vincent was just very chill for the most part. As long as he got his food, he was good, very simple. Charlotte was kind of a 50-50. She was mostly chill if she had, like, a little toy or something to look at for the most part. But Sophia was just constantly needed to be held, constantly just needed to be coddled because she was just always, always upset. And putting her under a fan did wonders. Constantly kept her calm, kept her at peace. Couldn't recommend it highly enough. So we even bought these little portable noise machines that we could put in the car if we ever had to take her for a drive or anything. We attached it to her car seat, had at play, puts her right to bed. We used, anything. And it was interesting because we originally learned about this from Lauren's parents because they said that when Lauren was a baby, she was kind of fussy like Sophia, and so they would put her under a fan in the bathroom or a fan in the kitchen, and that would calm her down. My parents had a similar thing with me, where I was extremely just the worst baby of all time, apparently, constantly crying and screaming, and they, instead of doing that, they discovered that if they turned on a vacuum, I would calm down and go to sleep. And for the longest time, I thought, well, how do you know that I was quiet? Maybe just the vacuum was so loud, it just drowned my screams. They're like, no, it used to be calm. And I guess when my dad, like if he had to watch me while my mom went to go pick up something or do whatever, he would just turn on the vacuum the whole time. And apparently they like blew the engine of 3 vacuums with me from being a baby. But I guess it calmed me down. That sound calmed me down. And so sure enough, when we would try to vacuum or clean, Sophia would calm down, Charlotte would calm down, and Vincent would calm down. So any sort of noise machine that you can get, whether it's the portable ones, whether you have a fan in a bathroom or a fan in the kitchen, or you just have a vacuum, don't be afraid to vacuum. Because when you vacuum, that sound tends to calm them down. Even in the NICU, they would have a sort of a sound machine going on in the background. Not as intense as a vacuum, but still, it does wonders. I think if there's anything to get out of this, that's number one right there, is just finding a way to get some sort of noise machine, something that creates that white noise. We even did this. We just looked up white noises on YouTube and played on them through like an iPad or your phone. And that would kind of calm down for a little bit. The problem is you don't want that running all night. So you probably don't want a vacuum running all night either. So, if you have some sort of fan, a bathroom fan, a portable noise machine, I just, like I said, I can't recommend it highly enough. We still use some of those to this day because it calms them down. It just puts them at peace. And then when they're at peace, you're at peace. And that's the best. So the other thing that I think we couldn't really live without for a long time that no one really told us about or we didn't really know a lot about was gripe water. So now gripe water is essentially this, I think it's got like, I don't know if it's eucalyptus or ginger. It's got this little formula stuff in it. It's not like heavily medicated. You can get it over the counter. You can find it at, any store. And basically, when they're getting super fussy and you know they've been fed, you know they've been changed, you know that you're doing everything right, you just give them a little bit of gripe water and you just watch the magic happen. It just starts to ease them. It just starts to kind of calm them down. And it was getting to a ritual where we're like, okay, we really want to make sure we get them to bed. Give them a little bit of gripe water before they go to bed or before they take a nap. Or if it just gets too crazy, you just give them that gripe water. And since it's not medicated, it's not like you ever have to fear of giving your kid too much gripe water. And it just calms them down. So whether you have one baby, two baby, or 10 babies, gripe water and noise machine. So that's number 2 in the thing. I would say now if I had to do it like a number 3, like another top 3, it would be swaddles. At night, we use these swaddles where they're basically like this, and it's got this cloth that goes around them, and they got their hands up the whole time. You would think it'd be extremely uncomfortable, but something about that kept them very calm. And so when they go to bed, they just go on their back, and they would sleep so much better than when we didn't have those and they would move their arms around and they'd accidentally hit their face. I know Vincent, for example, it just seemed like he was Wolverine or something because he was constantly, he'd wake up and he'd have all these scratches all over his face. And we're like, what? We trimmed his nails like right before bed. How does this keep happening? But sure enough, he'd be scratching his face and stuff. We put him in this. It calmed him down. He was able to kind of sleep, and they also look like adorable little penguins. So if anything, you get it for the adorable little penguin look, obviously. All I know is that the swaddles worked great. Couldn't recommend those enough. Really helped them sleep. And then we even offer them to other people. And some people are like, yeah, okay, this is kind of a weird gift. We're like, trust me. Just try it and let us know. They tried it and they're like, my kid is no longer allowed to sleep unless they have a swaddle on because it's that fantastic. Love it. I really like this episode because I feel like this is an episode where people can actually learn stuff, where I can learn stuff. It's a great time. Really love it. Now, in terms of clothes, okay, we at this point, the kids were mainly growing up in the winter time, so we were mainly inside. We weren't going out doing anything crazy, especially with COVID and being under quarantine. But at the end of the day, we always kept our kids in just sleeper pajamas, and specifically ones that had the zippers, okay? There's all these cute little outfits. These all look so adorable. And there's like 50 pieces and there's all these buttons and stuff. Listen, when it's 3 a.m. and you got to change your kid's diaper and you got to do stuff and they're screaming, you don't want to figure out how to connect the dots and how to, follow the lines and try to figure this out. No, you zip it and go, you're done. Great. Awesome. So nice zipper. Gets anything with a zipper is fantastic. Anything with a button, like those little snap buttons, is no good. Anything with a button where you got to put it through and all that stuff, that's just the devil. That's from someone who never had children before. So zippers, that's a big one. So I guess to kind of recap for me, just to kind of finish this up, noise machines. Any sort of noise machine is a great noise machine, whether it's portable, it's a ceiling fan, it's a kitchen fan or vacuum, whatever you can get that creates white noise, play it off your phone. Great. That's what you want to use. Gripe water. Gripe water, very underrated. And I'm not sure why. It should be a household name because it really helps calm them down, especially in the younger ages. Now that my kids are older, the gripe water really doesn't do much for them and they don't like it as much. But anything like below 6 months, fantastic. Really calms them down. I think it's like their ginger ale equivalent or something, but either way, it's fantastic. And then the baby bouncing seats, that's always a go-to, as I said before, and the swaddles. So the cute little swaddles where they look like little penguins, that's what I recommend, and I'm curious to hear what Lauren recommends as well.
Hey everybody, welcome to Triplet Talk. So for this episode, we're going to be talking about triplet must-haves. So this is kind of the meat and potatoes, if you will. I remember when I first found out I was having triplets, I kind of scoured the internet looking for like this ultimate guide of everything you need for triplets. And I couldn't really find one. I found bits and pieces of things that people recommended here and there. But I think it is kind of difficult to make a perfect list. So I'm going to talk about things that we can't live without. So hopefully it's helpful. And hopefully I can remember everything. And yeah, all right. So I think, I'm trying to think if there's a top item, like a number one thing that if I didn't have, I would shrivel up and die as a triplet mom. Well, the baby Breeza, I would say, is a must-have. It is basically it's a Keurig for baby formula. So it can churn out bottles in 30 seconds. I mean, not even, which is kind of a lifesaver when you have to make 3 of them, which baby Breeza probably isn't totally necessary for someone with 1 kid, but I've seen it, moms with 1 having it too. It's definitely, saves a lot of time, saves a lot of stress, but I would highly, highly, highly recommend the baby Breeza for triplets. Let's see what else. Baby Breeza, that is a big one. That definitely is on my top 3. The Wonderfold wagon, you've probably seen pictures of it everywhere online. I almost thought it was like an overhype thing because it is a little on the pricey side. But we pooled together a bunch of gift cards we had gotten from our shower, and we bought one for the babies, and it is pretty awesome. I would honestly say it holds up to all the hype. Tons of storage. It's kind of cool because it looks like it can grow with the babies. So right now, the babies have kind of the shoulder and the waist seat belts. But what's kind of cool is as they grow, they're not going to need the shoulders as much. So there is an option for that to go away. There's just a lot of cool functionality to that. And for us, like going on a walk is such a crazy adventure that I think having this Wonderfold wagon where they're all in one little wagon and we can both walk on the sidewalk together, and it's just a really nice thing. I would definitely recommend that as well. I'm going to stop saying that after everything because this is a video where I'm going to recommend stuff. Let's see, lightning round. Boppy newborn loungers. Super awesome. So these we don't use anymore, but when the triplets were first born, I would say probably the first 3 months-ish, maybe a little longer depending on the baby, but they were in those pillows all day. They prop them up perfectly, and you don't have to worry about, them being uncomfortable or anything. They look like they're sitting in a little cloud. It's really cute. Boppy newborn loungers. Yeah, I kind of miss those. They were stationary in those things. Now they're all over the place. White noise machines. So this is magic. The white noise machine is truly a gift from God sent to parents. I 100% believe. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to think of all the white noise machines we have in our house. I think we have 3 stationary ones, and I think we have 4 portable ones. We have a lot. So awesome tool for drowning out noise with babies, helping them sleep. It definitely creates a really calm environment for them. I would extremely recommend getting a ton of these things. The portable ones are awesome for car seats. So, car rides when baby's getting a little fussy, kick that thing on, and that's golden. We still use those just for car ride naps, for anything that, we're just like, we need these kids to sleep. I will say, the Love to Dream swaddle ups worked amazing for our 3 babies. I would really recommend actually registering for those. They are a little bit on the pricey side. And they're actually kind of funny looking. The baby is in this kind of, it's more fitted almost by their like torso and leg area. And then their arms actually are like this. So they're kind of up in this like cute little, I don't know, cute little position. Babies, research shows that babies prefer to sleep with their arms above their head. It's more comforting. So this swaddle really helps. It helped our babies sleep a lot better, I noticed, when they were really, really young. I think they grew accustomed to the tightness around their torso and also the arms up. I'll catch them still. They're out of them now because they grew out of them, but I'll catch the babies kind of sleeping like this still, which is really, really cute. So that was, a definite product that I would highly, highly, highly recommend. Okay, so bath stuff. I kind of struggled with what type of bath to get for when they were like little babies. But the Angel Care, I'm going to look what it's called, baby bath support. So it's not quite a seat because this is when they're really, really small, but the babies sit in them and it kind of props them up on an angle. And it has holes throughout the back of it so all the water drips through so you don't have to worry about mold or anything. And that was awesome. I mean, the babies, since they were preemies, they were on the slight smaller side. They were in that bath support forever, and makes it really easy to clean. It kind of perfectly places them in the water so you don't have to worry about them getting cold or anything. It's easily stored. It has like a little notch on the top that you can kind of hook right on your shower so you can get it kind of off the ground of your tub. But yeah, that was highly used, every second that it could be. This is something that I found from a triplet mom blog when I was pregnant. She recommended getting portable bassinets. So what that is basically a collapsible bassinets that fold up almost like a folding chair. And it's easy to move them from room to room. It's easy to break them down and store them into smaller areas so they're not in the way. Because unlike one baby, there's 3, and having 3 bassinets out all the time can get kind of cumbersome. So these were awesome. We actually still use them to this day. If a baby's fussy for like a quick nap or anything, totally great. It actually has a function. The ones that we have, there's a couple other types of these on the market. The one that we have, the bottom of it, you can twist and it actually will rock. Like you can push it and it will rock the baby, and you can lock it where it's stationary. So that was a pretty cool function. So baby boogers are gross, and I feel like they are never ending and they're always happening. Babies are always filled with boogers and it's just disgusting. And at the hospital, they had those little suction things, and I never liked using them there. And my sister-in-law actually recommended the Oogie Bear. So it's this little tiny, it's really, really small plastic. It's blue. It has like 2 little plastic ends to it that almost are like not hooks, but it's like a little, I can't even describe it. I guess like a circle, and one's like a thicker and one's like a thinner. So it lets you kind of go into the nostril and literally like scoop out the boogers versus like sucking out the boogers. It's a lot faster, and I think it's a lot more sanitary. I don't know how the heck you clean those suction things, but I doubt you can. So welcome to the 21st century. We're going to use, not that. With 3 babies, when you look for like tummy time mats, they're always usually like just square where they would only fit 1 baby, and you're kind of just like bummed. I found one, it's actually a Target brand called Tiny Love, and it's this bigger tummy time mat, and it has the toys that dangle above that they love, playing with. And I would really highly recommend getting a larger play mat or maybe some type of blanket with one of those wooden play jungle gyms over top of it. I really wouldn't waste my time with a smaller one. I feel like triplets and anyone with multiples, they know that the babies love being together. So that playtime is like super important for them. So just really finding one that is large enough for all of them, I think is really important. So I also got obsessed with making the babies purees. So this is a little farther down the line to where now they're eating like more food and versus just, strictly formula. I kind of got into it because I was really looking for a way to save money. Baby food can get pretty pricey, especially with 3, and we were already spending a lot on formula. So I kind of did some research and I found the Biaba, I think that's how you say it, Biaba, I could be wrong, baby food maker and puree maker. So basically and I could have had that name totally wrong, sorry about it. Basically what it does is you can prep your veggies and your fruits and anything you want, and if they're uncooked, you can steam it in this. It's all one unit, by the way, so it would steam, and it takes about, I think, like 10 minutes, depending on what you're cooking. You have to set it, and then after it's done steaming, it's in this like almost like a colander, so you would drain the excess liquid, put it back in the machine, and you can actually puree it all in one machine, which is awesome. It saves a ton of time, makes it really, really quick and convenient. So I would highly recommend the Biaba baby cooker. That is something down the road, but something very useful. I'm still using it today, and I'm kicking myself for not registering for something like that because it's extremely helpful now. Especially with 3. I mean, cooking for 3 kids is literally like, I feel like I am at a restaurant. Like I'm a chef at a restaurant. A couple last things before I wrap it up here. Swaddles, muslin swaddles. So these are not the, the more fitted ones that I talked about, the swaddle ups. These are just the cloth muslin swaddles to wrap the babies in. We found this really, really helpful to settle them down, and they're super stretchy, and we really, really loved those. Highly recommend. Gripe water. Yeah. Yep. If you ever dealt with the witching hour, or if you're not quite sure what the witching hour is, just get a couple gripe waters. And if you're a triplet mom, you're definitely going to need, I would go to Target and I would literally buy all of them. It's basically, it's not medicated. It's like a more organic, homeopathic treatment for just babies that are a little fussy or hiccupy. I'm pretty sure it's chamomile or some other types of natural spices in it. Not spices, but you know what I mean. It really helped settle down our babies when they were being extremely fussy. So highly recommend that. All right. And I'm going to end with the classic, nothing special, but we're going to end with the cloth diapers. So my mother-in-law, my mom, every every mom that ever existed ever who dealt with babies, I feel like has used these little diaper cloths as burp cloths, these cloth diapers. And we have, I don't even know how many of them in the house, but I would highly recommend buying endless amounts of them. They're perfect for spit ups. They're perfect for just having around when babies get messy. We love them. They wash great. They're super soft. I actually give them now to my babies as a little security blanket when they sleep. So it kind of has this amazing quadruple purpose. So that's a great item to have as well. We are definitely going to have to do another episode like this to kind of follow up with more items. This was kind of just a rapid round of things that I could think of and that I had a hard time thinking of, just because there's so many things that I feel like that triplet moms could benefit from. But I think the main takeaway is basically you're just going to need a lot of things. If you're looking at someone with one kid, they're not going to need nearly as much of what you're going to need. So I hope this helped. And yeah.
And we're back.
It was harder than I thought to do that.
Yeah. I think we definitely are going to have to make another episode. Maybe not the next one, or maybe it will be. I don't know.
Yeah.
But there is so much more. Did you have that situation where after you're done recording, you were like, oh, wow, I have 30 more minutes of more items and things that I could recommend?
Yeah, I felt so scatterbrained because it's hard to think back to then, because everything that you use then shifts, and then you're on to the next new thing that you're needing for survival. So it was hard for me to narrow it down to like, a couple items that we love, because we love a lot of items.
Yeah.
So.
I know one thing that I forgot that you mentioned that should be just a standard for everybody that has babies. The cloth diapers.
Oh, man.
Which the name is misleading, because some people are thinking, well, do you guys use like the regular diapers, like the disposable ones, or cloth diapers? No. These, I would prefer to call them...
We have 3 kids. We're not even going to mess with a cloth diaper for our children.
Yes, but I'm saying I wish that these were more called like burp cloths. But if you go to the store, they're called cloth diapers. They're just these little white blankets. And, I mean, we have piles of them, and it always feels like we never have enough. We use them for everything.
Part of me thinks that it's just like this portal void that is filled with cloth diapers that it's a never-ending supply. I actually think we probably have over 100 of them, if I had to guess.
Probably.
Yeah,
I just
because
remember
they're everywhere in the house.
We were buying them. We had people give them to us. Mm-hmm. They're fantastic, though. Yeah. I mean, we use them all the time. I know that, like, for example, if I have to put one of the kids to sleep, whether it's taking a nap or to go sleep at night, and I hold them and they like rest on my shoulder, if I don't have a cloth diaper or a burp cloth right there, good luck. Good luck. Because they sit there and they're rubbing their face in my shoulder, and they're just upset. The second I put that on there,
sense of security.
Yeah, I put that on there, out. Yeah. And then if during the day when they feed, you just put it right under their chin as you're feeding them. Any spit up, any cleanup. I always feel like I end up feeding them, and I go, oh crap, where's my burp cloth? I can't find it, because it's so essential. Those are just amazing. And then you said too that with their naps now, you're starting to give that to them as more of a security blanket, which is awesome. Because I think a lot of parents, or at least I knew kind of growing up, you have certain kids, they have to have one particular blanket.
Yeah.
We have 1,000 of these things. Mm-hmm. So if you're ever traveling, or if you're ever whatever, like if the special blanket's in the wash and they need it right now, you're screwed. However, we have 1,000 of these things, so you just give them one, and they're like, wow, this is great. There's 3 of them. They're all special. They're all great.
Yeah.
They're amazing. They're comfortable. Yeah. I wish they had a big adult size one. I think it's just called a comforter.
Yeah.
But it's great.
I just want to point out that I talked about gripe water. You talked about it as well.
I talked about gripe water.
I said it had spices in it. It's late and I'm super tired. It's herbal. It's not a spice. It's not like a spicy anything.
It's a nice sriracha for kids.
Yeah. I listened to it. I'm just like, oh my gosh, why did I say that? So don't hope that doesn't deter you away from gripe water. It has no spice. I was trying to think of the word herbal. So it's an organic herbal supplement.
The small window that we get when we have to go to like Target or go to a store.
I miss it.
We keep saying Target a lot.
I love
We're
Target.
not even sponsored by Target.
But
Target,
can you?
If you want, you can sponsor us.
I wish I could live there.
I
would live there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
There you go. We need housing now.
Right in the Chip and Joanna Gaines section. I have everything I need.
There you go. Oh, done. Every time we would go and shop and we had got to pick up gripe water. What did I used to do? I'll tell you what I used to do.
Mm-hmm. Tell me.
I would go to that aisle and they would say, oh, there's like 3 or 4 in the thing. I would just go and put it all in my cart and just buy it all.
Screw all those other fussy kids.
No, these kids are, just go to the next store.
Yeah.
I got 3. I'm not dealing with it. I just do that. Take them all. Because, and every once in a while they have those limited time, gigantic ones. Do that. Listen, if gripe water came in a keg where you could just flip
like
your
a
kid
gallon.
over and just shoot it in their mouth, I would do that. Because
what's funny is I actually had conversations with other triplet moms on Instagram about how we miss the giant gripe water like containers. And we kind of like started a like stir in the triplet mom community, like, where did the giant ones go? Like, we miss those, because it would save a lot of money. I mean, stuff's always expensive when you have to buy 3. You kind of look like a crazy like lunatic when you like put all your stuff on the belt and it's like 8 gripe waters, like 20 Tylenols, like 8 cans of formula, and they're like, wow, you stocking up? And you're like, for the week. So
some
crazy.
People think you're making meth from Breaking Bad. I don't know. All I know is that these kids got to calm down.
Just raising triplets.
Just raising triplets. Breaking triplets. I don't know.
And then the other thing, too, that you mentioned was the swaddle, the traditional swaddle potentially causing SIDS. I think it's more so if having the swaddle up where their arms are up like this, having that is less likely of them to kind of break loose of it. So if they were
that's
to
what it
roll onto the cloth when they're super young, it could suffocate and cause SIDS. That's more of what I think you meant by that.
Yeah, thank you for the clarification. Because I remember hearing about that, and I was like, I thought it was something where if they woke up, they couldn't
It is
move.
a startle reflex, too.
Mess with their
but that's like a
startle
total
reflex.
debate, because when we were young, our parents swaddled us up like that. We had the blanket, and they swaddled us up, and our arms were in and everything.
They just tried to murder us. They just threw us with pillows and blankets and stuffed animals, and they're just like, if he's not breathing, that means he's not crying, so that's great.
Yeah.
And now it's like they gotta be on their back. There can't be anything in the crib, which is all great. But yeah, I remember hearing something about that. Mm-hmm. But I mean, during the day though, or when we'd have to calm a kid down, we swaddled them just like this all the time, and that did wonders. We do that. We hold them up
all the time.
We hold them up. We kind of shush them a little bit, do a little shush, 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 or put them by a noise machine with them swaddled up, and they go from nuts to all of a sudden they're just super calm, and they're like, yeah, what's going on? Like, I always compared it to, like, after Bruce, he turns into the Hulk, or after the guy becomes a werewolf, when he becomes human again, they're just like, what? What's going on? That was like our kids. Mm-hmm. Like, I just remember Sophia, she'd be screaming, going nuts, red, beat red, just angry. The second you calm her down, she'd be like, what's going on, guys? What are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Guys,
Babies can go to like 0 to 1,000 in a fraction of a second, and they're like, well, what? It's fine. And have no recollection. You're just like, what the? How did you get there so quick? We didn't even talk about white noise machines yet. Are we nuts?
Oh, I stressed it.
You did. I did. The guy down the street did. If you don't have a white noise machine and you're a parent, I don't even know. I
don't know how you're alive.
I'm confused.
I don't know how you made it.
What's going on?
You made it. Or
go to the store, get in your car right now, and go get some. Get like 5. Wipe the aisle clean. Wipe that little shelf. All of them, like Vince said with the grape water. We want all the white noise.
All the white noise.
Put them everywhere.
I also recommended too, because we didn't always use the portable ones or the more expensive ones. I also mentioned that, just using a fan in a bathroom.
Yeah.
Using
makeshift.
a fan in a microwave, like the microwave in the kitchen. You turn on the fan, it goes. That does wonders, and you're not spending extra. And also too, I think overall. One thing that's really great is if you check out like Facebook Marketplace.
Oh yeah.
So with Facebook Marketplace, for example, some crazy person was selling a brand new noise machine, still in the box, for $5.
Oh,
was that it? For $5.
I jumped on that thing so fast.
She jumped on that thing so quick.
Yeah.
So if there's anything you learn, not everyone's smart on Facebook Marketplace.
No.
So you can go on there, and there might be great deals nearby. And I also want to keep in mind, too, we're not sponsored by any of this stuff.
No, none of them.
We would gladly take your sponsorship
we would
money,
love it.
but we're just not sponsored by them, so we're only just talking about
So we're giving
things
you
that work.
honest parent reviews here. We've used all this stuff. It's tried and true. We're not getting paid to say it.
We should have established that in the beginning, but we didn't. But it's fine.
Yeah.
But I mean, or going to mom sales. I heard that's a big
anything hand-me-downs from other people.
Hand-me-downs from other people. If people aren't using their noise machine, I mean, even your parents use a noise machine to help them go to sleep.
Yeah.
So it's not something that it's like only for babies.
I think it's common nowadays.
It's pretty common, yeah. I even mentioned if you have it like on your phone or if you have an iPad or something, go on YouTube, look up baby white noise. Sometimes that helps too. It doesn't help for hours on end. I wouldn't recommend it for that, but
yeah.
I mean, you got to have white noise. For some reason, it calms the kids down. Didn't you say it has something to do with them in the womb or no?
Yeah, I think it's supposed to like kind of recreate what they heard in the womb, I think, originally when they were really, really young. And I think now it's just like a comfort thing. It's almost like a routine. But I think people did mention that.
I think so.
Kinda, yeah.
I don't know. Like I said in mine, we're not doctors. We're not scientists. We're only saying things that worked for us.
We only play them on TV.
Yeah. We only play them on TV. We're only actors.
We only play them on podcasts.
Only on podcasts.
And you didn't even mention the baby Breezla?
No, I didn't mention the baby Breezla.
That thing is like...
No, it is amazing, but the reason why I didn't mention is because we actually didn't use ours for a long time. We only used it at night.
But still,
We used it at night.
that was a lifesaver at nighttime.
Oh, yes.
I didn't even talk about that in mine, because at night, when it's like 2 a.m. and you got to make a bunch of bottles, that thing kicks them out in like less than 30 seconds. That's It's a game changer. It's literally a game changer. And if you have triplets, if you're expecting triplets, if whatever, you go buy one. Seriously, it's awesome. I mean, game changer. It is a little annoying to clean, but come on. Got to give it, give it a break.
It is pricey, but you are going to be using it all the time.
Yeah, all the time.
But I do think it is on the pricey side. Now, when we first brought home the kids and we were young and naive, we thought that we had dreams still. We had like the individual bottle warmers.
Yeah.
And if you have like one kid, that's probably fine. But for 3, you got to wait like 2 or 3 minutes. That's crucial.
We need to do an episode of what not to buy for triplets, because that would
that could be the next episode.
Spoiler.
Ooh, that could be the next episode, because we got a whole bunch of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but yeah, we mainly used it at night for the longest time. And then once they got done with the night feedings, then we started using it during the day, because we needed that instant. And then everything else we would just kind of manually heat, which was a pain, but we would kind of heat them all at once. We barely used our bottle warmer because it just took way too long to heat individual bottles.
Yeah. But I think I'm going to do like kind of a summary here. So when you're registering for triplets, I mentioned in mine that it's extremely overwhelming, because you're trying to figure out, what you need for your baby. You've never had a baby. Well, I didn't have babies. I never had kids before them. So it's hard to really know what you need. So I would say listen to other people. Listen to the advice of, your mom, your friend's mom, any moms that you really look up to, or look to their advice for. I would say look around the internet and look for products that are highly rated. And don't open up everything that you get, because you can return it later. I think that was a huge mistake. I opened up everything because I'm like, we're going to use everything. And if I would have kept it, still in the box, I could have returned it and actually, bought something that we needed. It's just hard to know what you need until you're in that moment. That's why this is difficult too, because what worked for us could not work for other people, or vice versa. So, just really thinking about your lifestyle as well. If you're a family that travels a lot, or if you're a family that, has other kids or anything, I mean, that's other things to take into consideration when looking into baby products. But I think there are a lot of helpful, I think I'm kicking myself because I didn't do as much research as I wish I would have before registering. So I think hopefully this helps you guys a little bit, at least looking into the things that we talked about, because when I was looking, I didn't really see much from other people. And it was kind of a bummer, because, I don't know, I think triplet moms were probably too busy to do this. We should be sleeping anyways.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think we could definitely make more episodes and get more and more defined.
I missed so much stuff.
Just to get a lot more into it. And I think
it's a good taste.
I think we get a nice taste. I think we definitely need to do one too of what not to do for triplets.
Yeah.
And I think that's how we should end it.
I agree. This was fun.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Yep.